Okay, so welcome to the first part of the Zippo lighter modeling. I am using Blender 3.6 and we just open up a blank new project. Okay, so what we're gonna do, press 3 for the side view, and if you press 1, this is this is the front view, and if we press 0, you have your camera view, and if you press 7, we have the view from the top. But we are starting for the side view, so press 3, press Shift A, and then we're gonna open up an image here, and we need a reference. And the reference image is called the reference side view, ref_side view. We're gonna open that up, and then we gonna use our cube. Click on that cube here, and we are still in object mode. Let's zoom in a little bit and press Alt Z, so we can actually see through the mesh. This is the X-ray. You can also switch the X-ray here on the upper right. Switch it on and switch it off and switch it on. But during that course, I will always tell you, or most of the time I'm going to tell you to press Alt Z. You can also see it on the bottom right. Okay, so then let's press Tab, or you can also go here on the upper left. Instead of pressing Tab, you just can go here to Edit Mode, and then while the X-ray is active, make sure that the X-ray is active. You can just drag and select the whole vertices we have here, and then press 3 again to stay in side view. It's really important that we stay in the side view. Press G, Z, and drag it up like this, or maybe like this. And then we do the same for the bottom. Drag and select, press G, Z, and drag it down. So we get the blocking out, that everything is right. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna do the same for the Y axis, for the green axis here. So we drag and select the left side, G, Y, drag it. You can also, if you want to, let's do here, because we're gonna use the bevel modifier soon. So let's stay maybe like, let's drag it like here. You can also drag and select your vertices here and press G, Y, and keep holding Shift, so then you can just slide really slow to make slide changes while you keep pressing Shift. Okay, so let's leave it here. All right, cool. So now we just have the approximately the size of this Zippo lighter. But now let's look for the X-axis here. If you use the middle mouse button, we have the X-axis here, and we can see the dimension is, of course, the dimension is not right. So let's press Tab to be in object mode, press Alt Z to go out of the X-ray mode, click on the picture and press H to hide it. Now we can see the center of the cube. Press the cube, press Alt Z to see through the mesh again, and then keep pressing Tab, and then Control R and navigate to this edge here. Control R, click 2 times, and then we are perfectly, if we press 7, we are perfectly aligned here because we didn't move the cube. So this is exactly, this is like, yeah, the edge is exactly aligned to this cursor in our world position. So what we're gonna do now is we press 1, and then we go to the face. You can, as you can see here, we have the vertices, which are these black dots. Basically, yeah, these are our vertices. You can switch to edge mode. You can see then this is only, you can see only the edges here. You can click on the edges here, and you can select the faces. The face is like the whole polygon basically. of your mesh. So press 1 for the front view, and now it's really important that you stay in the X-ray mode here. So make sure you press Alt Z, and in my case Alt Z again, so to stay in X-ray mode. And then we just drag and select everything. This is the reason why we are basically in X-ray mode. So we always can go, we drag and select everything completely through the mesh. It's really necessary. And then we just want to delete that because I want to apply a mirror modifier. So press delete, faces. Now we have this open mesh. And before I apply a mirror modifier, I just try to get the dimension on the x-axis right. So I think if we just look at another reference, let's look at another reference here. We go to our Zippo lighter here, and we use this reference side view 2, and you can see approximately the x-axis here, like how thick that Zippo lighter is. So let's do let's select the face here. Sorry, just press Alt Z to go out of the X-ray. Press click on this face. This is like one strategy to do that. Go to the front view, and then just click G, X, and then we're gonna do maybe this thickness, maybe like that. And then we can start to, before we apply the mirror modifier, we can start to bevel these edges here, and maybe also this bend. We're gonna have this bend here. So we go on the right side here, on the right hand side, we can see an empty, which is our image. We can also call it a reference image. And then you click on this eye icon here to reveal. Press Alt Z so we can see both. Press 3. Go to go to edge mode, and we insert an edge here on the x-axis and click 2 times. Don't move the cursor. And click 2 times so it's perfectly aligned in the center here. And then we're gonna need that geometry later, but first we would like to, or I would like to, add a bevel modifier. So I press Alt Z, press Tab, and then when we click on this mesh here, we go to the modifier tab, add a modifier, and we are going to add a bevel. So the bevel is over here. Click on that, and we cannot really see what's going on. I mean, the mesh is changing, but if you want to see in object mode, if you want to see your the actual mesh and the edges, you just go here, the upper right hand side here, overlays, click on it, and then activate, enable the wireframe. So we can actually see here what's going on inside the object mode, because the modifiers, we can always just change it and apply it and see it when we are in object mode. So this is not enough geometry. So we need like a bending here, and we need a bending here, and we need a bending here. So as you can see in our reference image, we have a bevel, quite a strong bevel here, quite a strong bevel on this x-axis here, and on this axis there's also a bevel. So yeah, let's just increase the segments. Maybe let's do 5, and let's go for 0.14 maybe, and we can see everything looks quite all right. Also we can disable the bevel here, click on this screen, on this monitor icon, and if we press Control A, set the rotation scale or apply the rotation scale, because once you scale or move or something, you should always apply the rotation and scale with Control A. Because once you scale something, you need to reset the dimensions, because once you try to bevel something, once you try to solidify something with your modifier here, or with your overall bevel, for example, if you press Control B, you bevel something, you need to reset your rotation and scale, otherwise you can really you can have a lot of trouble later on. It's not really correct. The bevel will not be really correct. So always use the Control A and set the rotation and scale in object mode. Okay, cool. So now if we go back to this bevel modifier, we click on this monitor here. We can see if we press 3, that is not really aligned. So what we need to do, we press Tab, we are back in edit mode, and then we can, I would like to use the vertex mode here, but you can use the edge mode as well, it's up to you. I would like to create this bending here first. So I press Alt Z, drag select this vertex here, press G, Z, and then just move it up. I move it up a little more, because if I go into edge mode here, I can actually select everything with Alt Shift and click on this edge here. Then you can see the whole edge is selected. If you start getting irritated by this bevel here, you just can switch it off. And then you can see this upper edge and this edge here and this edge is selected. So make sure everything is selected. Activate the bevel again, press 3 for the side view, and then we can actually press Control B and just create this bending and scroll up. And let's go for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go for 8. And we just drag it down. And as you can see here, the bending seems to look fine. Okay, let's do like that. Okay, cool. But now we need to align it a little better. We need to align it a little more. So what we're gonna do, we can overall we can scale it up. But what I would like to do is I just select these vertices here, these outer vertices, drag and select this one here, and then I just move it like G, Y, and then move it to the left side here. And now you can see it looks quite nice. And then I do the same for the bottom, for the Z-axis, drag and select. As I said, G and then Z for the Z-axis to snap it, and go down like this. Maybe like this. And for the right side, again for the Z-axis here, just drag and select, and then press G, Y, and just drag it on the Y-axis. Just move the Y-axis here. So make sure it's snapped. Okay, this looks fine. As you can see now, you can see the bevel now here. I think it looks fine. Okay, this is pretty much the blocking, just the overall blocking for the case of the lighter. And now let's before we move on with the mirror modifier, let's just create an edge here, because we need to open the lighter. Later on we want to rotate it, we want to open so to see actually the inside. So we need to press Control R, click once, and then move it up like this, and click again. So still all the edges are selected, like the whole edge loop is selected. So we press S Z0, enter. So everything is now perfectly aligned on the Z axis. Okay, and then we press G, Z, keep holding Shift and drag it down until we are right on this cut here. Cool. So now we are exactly where we need to be. And then what we're gonna do, let's switch Alt Z, press Alt Z, and now we can, we need to create a hole here. So what we're gonna do, we press Ctrl B and just drag it up. And as you can see, that I have a lot of edge loops here. We only need 3. Maybe like this. Okay. And so we can see approximately like the hole. I think the hole is bigger, so let's do like this. And then press 3, Alt Z, and we can see we are still perfectly aligned with the cut here. And maybe we can also use this edge loop here. So keep pressing Alt Shift click on this one, so everything is selected. Just press G, Z, and just move it up a little bit like this. So you're perfectly aligned. So we can see the hole here. You can also do that here. Alt Shift click, so everything is selected. And G, Z, and then you just move it down a little bit like this. Now you're perfectly aligned. And what we can do now, press Alt Z and switch to face on the left, on the upper left here. Select mode face selection, and then click on this one and click on this one, and then we can delete. But before we actually do that, we can see we still have not applied our bevel. So before we apply that, I would like to get back into object mode and then turn off the wireframe, because now I want to see if the bevel is enough. I want to see if this is enough. So let's just see, click on the mesh and then right click, shade smooth. So everything looks, the normals are, everything is like really smooth here. No shading issues, and we can check if this, if we need more bending, maybe less bending. But I think if we look at the reference here, I think it's pretty much, I think it's spot on. I think it's good. If you want more bevel, of course, you can go here and increase maybe to 17, maybe 17. Looks good. Press 3 to see. Press 3 and then Alt Z, maybe just to be sure that we are perfectly aligned here. I think the bending is pretty much spot on here. And then we press Alt Z to go out of the X-ray mode. And yeah, this is it. I think we can apply. Again, make sure to see the wireframe and make sure everything looks good. We have no n-gons here. Everything is polygon. Yeah. And yeah, the mesh looks good. Okay. So now what we're going to do, apply the bevel. And then we are going to apply our mirror modifier. So select the image here, press H. And we need to make sure, I mean, we are still, if you press 7, we are still perfectly aligned to the center here. And we have the cursor and our world position, which is good. But we need to make sure that if we press Tab to go back into, click on the mesh, of course, and then press Tab. We need to make sure that we select all our edge loop here, all these edges on the outer side. So Alt Z to see everything. Yeah, everything selected. Alt Z to go out of the X-ray mode, and then press Shift S cursor to select it. So we make sure that our cursor moves exactly to the center of our selection. And then press tab in object, so we are in object mode, object, set origin, origin to 3D cursor. So we see our orange dot is now exactly our 3D cursor. And then we can go to our modifiers here and go to a mirror. Where is our mirror? Always need to look for that. Mirror is here. And we can see the x-axis. You can also see here from left to right is our the x-axis here, and it automatically merge. It's going to merge. This means like this mesh, when we apply it, it will be merged. And then we can also use the clipping, but we don't need that right now. Clipping is just if the mesh, for example, is going through and the other side, or the mirror is going through, that this is basically called clipping. This is just is going to prevent that, so we don't need that. And yeah, if we just apply the mirror, let me just do that for now, and then we can see if we disable our wireframe, we can see we have our lighter. And now anytime you can, let me just go back, Control Z, so our mirror modifier is still active. Yeah, we can actually see that this is right. Maybe it's a little too thick. So what we can do, our mirror modifier is, again, is active. We can go back to edit mode, press 1, and then to face mode, maybe switch from shading the solid view to wireframe, and then we just can select the outer faces here. You can also press Control plus, make sure that everything here, that the whole bevel here is selected. It's really necessary that we select everything here. Press 1. Then you can just press G, X, keep holding Shift and drag to the left. And thanks to our mirror modifier, it's doing the exact same. So make it a little more narrow. Okay. Alt Z to exit the X-ray, solid view. And now I think this looks much better. Maybe this angle here. Then we can see the reference. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the thickness was right. So maybe it's a little too thin now. So we just undo that, and to select everything here, G, X, and just make it like this. Maybe this looks better now. Yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, this is our Zippo lighter. Yeah, I mean just the outside of the mesh, and then we can create the hole here. So I just click on this one and this one, and press delete faces. So our mirror modifier is doing the exact same. And yeah, I think this should be it for the first part. And yeah, see you guys in the next part.